and gentlemen, welcome to Domino's Gymnasium, home of the Springboro Panthers. As a member of the school of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Springboro High School welcomes you to this interscholastic contest between the Springboro Panthers and the Fairmont Firebirds. The athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of Springboro High School. All fans are asked to respect the effort of each of them as before preparing for tonight's contest. We ask all attending to show courtesy.
Oh, did you get some of them?
Fellow fans, officials, coaches, those administrating.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Of course, your team and your opponent.
Came down from
And
Washington.
important today is that
That's why they're adults.
Okay.
They're still on the roster, but they're still moving down.
Which
makes so much about their size.
And have been assigned based on the process approved by the OHSA's board of directors.
I'm gonna guess Gilda.
Now let's meet the players in tonight's game. First, we'll start out with the Fairmont Firebirds. Number 1, Macy Schwedman. Number 10,
Macy's
Serena Baker. Number 11,
Serena Baker.
O'Malley Quinlan. Number 14, Jess Baker. And number 30, Callie Bowles. The Firebirds are coached by head coach Brandon Davidson. And now for your Springboro Panthers. Number 10, Emma Drescher. Number 30, Kaylee Bowler. Number 32, Kayla Forland. Number 34, Emily Walner.
Moment of truth.
And number 41, Gina Gilday. The Panthers are coached by head coach Wayne Kemper.
Hello and welcome to the MVCC Game of the Week for basketball season. We are back, and this is week number 1 as we go for a warm-up matchup right here in Springboro, Ohio on this brisk night. We're inside the gym. We do not care. Fairmont takes on Springboro, but first we have the JV battle. This one should be exciting now.
For sure, Jeff. As these are 2 of the top-ranked teams in the G-Walk, but this is their younger teams. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, 2 really good farm systems, and it's proven in the past that these programs know how to bring up players, and the tip-off is won by Kaylee Molnar in the Springboro Panthers, and that opens up the possession. Very urgent. Good rebound there. Number 14, Jess Baker for the Fairmont Firebirds. And honestly, the last few years, Andy, we haven't seen a lot from this Fairmont farm system because their players are so good, they just go straight to varsity.
Oh, that's for sure, Jeff. I mean, they've had 3 or 4, different players. We've had go to college. We had one win a national championship, while she was in college at Notre Dame, and her little sister is now gonna go ahead and probably try and do the same thing, So,
absolute prodigies.
they have so much talent in this system, and they don't often get to showcase them at this lower level. So this should be a treat. See if they got anything.
Sure.
They're gonna call a travel.
They're
gonna call a travel on Serena Baker.
Yeah, she tried to hit the drop step, but just took one step too many.
Maybe just slid that foot a little bit.
Inbound goes back to Emma Drescher. The Drescher kick back up top to Kayla Forland, and it is off from 3. Offensive rebound by Gina Gilday.
You really wish you make those shots, but you have to take those because she's so open.
Good reset by Springboro, nice and patient with the ball, working it in that 2-3 zone. Circling around the perimeter, shot is off, no good by Emily Wolner. But good hustle, just doesn't go their way. Gina Gilday fighting for the rebound, but instead it will be an inbound by number 30 for the Fairmont Firebirds, Callie Bowles. She'll give it into the point guard.
So Quinlan is going to bring it up.
Bowles looking for a shot. Wow.
And drains it.
That was beautiful form.
That was a great shot there by the 2 guard.
Those are the first points of the game. Bowles working the perimeter. Forland finds Drescher, gets that outlet pass in, and then Forland throws up a beautiful shot of her own. 3-3 here early, only 2 minutes into the game.
Some tough shot making here early, Jeff.
Yeah, showing some skill. We didn't know what to expect from these junior varsity squads. We obviously know we're looking at 4 of the best players in the state tonight, Andy, between these 2 varsity teams, but didn't know what they had on the farm system. The mishandle from Callie Bowles. Will change possession, but gonna get a good look. As you said, we were talking to Coach Finn before the game about this Firebirds team. He says they're not as athletic as you would want them to be, but their toughness makes up for it. Got a lot of young girls.
Yeah, that's really important. He stressed about how hard they worked, and so the work ethic is really one of the things that matters most. They say that hard work outperforms talent when talent fails to work hard. So that's something very important. They fight hard here in this organization.
We'll see if we can see an example of that tonight as Bowles circles the perimeter, starts to shoot, but gets nothing but the backboard.
Yeah, maybe she hesitated a little too much on that.
Yeah, not the best decision right there.
Good contest by Bowles on the other end, though.
Woolner attempted the shot, but just couldn't get it up. And that is Macy Schwegman from the corner with the arc.
That's a beautiful shot by Schwegman. Schwegman.
And good penetration by Kaylee Molnar, but can't quite get it. Schwegman running the fast break.
Baker.
Beautiful
off the
basketball.
glass.
Basketball number 10, Serena Baker.
That's going to be a shot by Molnar, and she's going to get to the line for 2. Something I'm definitely intrigued to see, Jeff, is whether these 2 JV teams are as good at getting to the line as their varsity teams are, because they're like number 1 and number 2 in the conference, and so if they can get to the line a lot, produce some easy buckets, we could have a fairly high scoring game.
Yeah, when we talk about these varsity teams, Andy, we aren't just talking about volume. Percentage-wise, they're the top 2 teams, 68% and 66%, which is phenomenal when you look at the average numbers for high school girls basketball.
For sure, Jeff. Good hustle there by number 41.
Gina Gilday.
Gina Gilday.
And something I'm very impressed to see so far, and we heard Coach Finn talking about the toughness of this team, but how about their composure, Andy? The way they slowly dribble down, as I talk about that, the famous announcer jinx strikes, but the way they dribble down and try to find their shots so far.
Yeah, they've slowly worked their way into their offense, and it's worked pretty well for them so far, besides this early turnover.
The dresser misses the shot. Offensive rebound. Expo down low for Springboro, but
playing hot potato, it looks like Springboro is probably going to keep the basketball.
Their hustle pays off, Andy. As Julia Stone started all of the rebound and the hustle there.
Serena Baker was the last to touch at that time.
And a mishandle from number 30 for Springboro, Kaylee Molnar.
Now Bowles is about to inbound it to Quinlan. Quinlan is now going to bring it up past half court over to Macy.
That'll be a blocking foul. And Kayla Forland.
Foul's going to be on number 32 for the Panthers, Kayla Forland.
As you saw Schwegman try to penetrate, but got deflected there. Inbound will go to Quinlan once again. Trying to penetrate to the right, gets trapped on the baseline, swings it back up to the wing.
Back
ball
to Quinlan.
movement here.
Now over to Bowles.
A little loose, and that's backcourt violation on Callie Bowles. Just couldn't handle the initial pass.
You gotta love the defensive pressure if you're Springboro. They're getting up into their grill these last few possessions. They're not letting them, have anything easy.
They're really using their athleticism and their length here, Andy.
Sure.
Right in the high post. Just can't quite get it in. Not enough power there on the shot by Gina Gilday.
And I think if you're a Panther, you're probably asking for a little bit of patience on offense right now. They're coming down, they're rushing a lot of stuff. You kind of want to work the ball around, move it side to side a little bit.
They're rushing contested shots, and just like you said earlier about hard work versus talent.
Quinlan hands off to Bowles. Bowles is going to drive in hard, powerful to the rim, put it up off the glass, no good. But she gets fouled.
It was a very strong drive.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeff, it didn't really look like she had anywhere to go, but, she just put her head down and cleared space, and it was a great show of effort.
A very wide frame for Callie Bowles, and she showed her shooting ability earlier, Andy, when she pulled up a beautiful three.
Yeah, she can take it to the rim, she can put it on she can shoot it.
Serena Baker and Callie Bowles, two of the talented freshmen that Coach Ben was talking about when we discussed this team with him, and so far it's pretty clear. Callie Bowles is playing sensationally. And she has gotten some varsity looks. She does dress for varsity sometimes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, as the season progresses, I would definitely expect to see her in varsity more often because, she's showing here early that she has very good touch at putting the ball in.
She's making an impact. 5 points. Deflected pass. Great work in the lane by Macy Schwegman.
And Forlin is going to turn it over.
Julia Stone is going to be credited with that turnover.
Quinlan is going to bring it up the left side. Now look for a pass.
Gets it to Bowles in the high post. Bowles is looking to score the ball once again. Hustles for the offensive rebound, but gets a little loose from her. And I believe that'll be a blocking foul. Coming down the court at number 14.
Bowles is being extremely aggressive right now.
That'll be Jess Baker on the foul.
And, I thought she was going to get that offensive rebound and put it back up.
Yeah, she just mishandled it.
It's not quite quick enough.
Mishandled it a little bit. Perhaps her aggressiveness kind of bringing her down early though. And Forlin with another shot and another miss for Springboro.
It's a good shot. Those are shots you have to take. She's wide open, you just can't, you're not going to make them all. And they're going to call a blocking foul now, looks like on Forlin.
And fantastic urgency by Serena Baker, surging down the sideline.
Yeah, not slowing down at all. She's, Coach said that they're not very athletic, not very fast, but they're looking to attack early.
And beautiful opportunity soiled on the inbound play. Forlin, that adds to the Springboro air ball, is just not taking the smartest shots tonight, forcing a lot.
They just have not had it, very well on offense early on.
Andy, at least the confidence is not lacking.
Quinlan is going to go to the basket, but that's a clear travel.
Definitely a walk.
She got a little too excited, forgot to dribble. Now Drescher is going to bring it up court over to Julia Stone, back to Drescher, and once again back to Stone.
Drescher and Stone trying to crack this 3-2 zone, and on-ball foul. I believe that is on Julia Stone, number 4. Well, actually, they're going to call it on number 41, Gina Gilday. That's yet another foul on her.
And, we just can't really stress enough how much, Springboro has struggled to score here early. That defense has been lights out.
A lot of contested shots, and Gina Gilday, one of the more skilled players on this team, will come out in foul trouble. And her place will be Kaylee Molnar. Quinlan drove, almost walked, dishes it out to Baker, but no good on the floater. And look at that scramble, Andy. You gotta love this in the junior varsity hustle.
Gotta love it, love the effort.
And that's one good thing about watching these games. These kids are inexperienced. They may lack skill or development, but they want to play and they want to win.
For sure, Jeff. Now Bowles is gonna inbound it outside.
And almost hits the 3 as the clock winds down. 2, 1, and Drescher will not put up a shot. Maybe a slight lack of awareness, but just the storyline of that first quarter, Andy, Springboro cannot put the ball in the basket simply.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I definitely think that's something that we didn't expect. I mean, when we were sitting over here watching them warm up, it kind of looked like Springboro had more talent, and might have wanted it a little bit more. But then obviously, warm ups don't matter. It doesn't matter who's making the shots then.
For sure.
And clearly, right now, it's Fairmont, and they want it more. They're playing much better all around.
And we say, or when we base expectations off of our observations, obviously we've watched a lot of basketball, Andy. We know what a basketball body looks like. These girls have a lot of basketball bodies. They look like they're skilled, but they have to convert it at the end of the day. They have to be patient, and I really think this Fairmont Firebird squad is just outsmarting them at this point.
Yeah, and the defense, whether they're playing man or zone, has been excellent so far. So, and that's something that if you've ever paid attention to Coach Finn and what he does, he always has great defensive basketball teams. That's always his hallmark. Yeah,
a lot of intensity from this Firebird squad as this second quarter starts here on a brisk evening in Springboro, Ohio. Burrow will have the inbound. Let's see if they come out with a little more patience here. And we keep coming back to the word toughness, Andy. You can see it in everything they do.
Yeah, and they communicate so well on defense too, which is one of the most important parts.
Contested three, no good, but the hustle is real. From Springboro, that was number 24, Erin Offenberger, getting her own offensive rebound, but she missed a three and she missed the putback. Burrow will get another inbound.
But I tell you what, that's something that Springboro really needs right now. They haven't had much energy. Drescher is going to air ball, and they haven't had much energy so far. And a little more of that hustle would go a long way in this game.
For sure, and it seems like the only way they use that energy is for offensive rebounds. I think they're definitely winning the offensive rebound battle. They're just so urgent with the way they put the ball up. They end up misusing their possession.
For sure, Jeff.
Some fast movement on the ball from the Fairmont Firebirds, really moving it around the perimeter.
Quinlan with the ball up top, kicks it to the corner.
Schwegman looks for a shot cross court to number 23.
Hawkins. Now back to Hawkins up top.
Jess Baker on the wing. She drives, steps back,
now
passes
finds
it out.
Quinlan.
Schwegman takes it back, and they're circling the top of the key really hard. And good defensive toughness from Springboro. They allow the foul on the trip, but other than that, they were really...
like you said, Jeff, I agree. It was good defense. You just hope for a little more urgency. They just had the defense, or they just had the offense running back and forth looking for something.
Fairmont comes out in the stack, and it pays off as they get an open shot at the top of the key. Beautiful drive by Jess Baker.
Yep, and that's just something that they've done very well here early. They have 3 or 4 buckets off of, out of bounds plays.
Yeah, those inbound formations are really giving Burrow trouble. Cannot handle the pressure once again. Springboro keeps melting under this defensive intensity that Fairmont's throwing at him.
Yep, that's another air ball by their offense.
Schwegman throws up the three. Good offensive rebound, almost called in by Serena Baker. Hesitation, Drescher at the top of the key, and it rims out. Closest shot of the night for Springboro. Sets up for another shot. And number 30, Kaylee Molnar, is off.
Lack of intensity is not
another offensive rebound and another shot for Springboro, and another miss. And this hustle is just not being rewarded, Andy. They are rushing these possessions.
Yeah, and that's really all it is. They're just not taking their time to take a breath and slowly but strongly take it up to the basket.
Oh, got the ball, shot.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'd say if Fairmont is defensively rebounding sufficiently in this game, Andy, they're up by a lot more.
We're looking at 25-3 maybe. I don't know.
Schwegman being patient. Penetration stops at the top of the key. Hands it to Bowles for the shot, and it's off on the left rim. Great rebound there by number 10 Serena Baker, and draws the defensive foul.
And it's not that Fairmont has not rebounded very well at all. They've done all right, but it's just if they would have gotten a couple more of these, they would be well in the bonus by now, and they'd be shooting way more free throws. They'd have
beautiful pass and beautiful drive.
Yep.
But no good. Drescher taking it down on the fast break, dishes it off, and wow. A lot of excitement
Patterson
behind that shot, but just misses absolutely everything. And surprise, surprise, we will get
a timeout
a 30-second
from Fairmont.
Timeout from Fairmont. I really didn't think they were going to be the team calling the timeout, Andy. This game has been going their way. You know, despite it only being 2-0 here in the second quarter, their defense has been winning it.
Yeah, but I definitely think that if you're a coach and you look up at the scoreboard and you see it's 12-3, it's like,
yeah.
I think we have to fix our offense, because if they fix their offense, then we're in trouble.
MVCC. It's a local cable channel on Spectrum. It's channel 21, and we do a lot of stuff on YouTube. Thank you, sir. You too, man.
Quick little pep talk from the referees. That's a new one, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's always nice to get acquainted with the big guys.
Yep.
They control the fate of this game in their hands like tiny little birds. Back to the game. Bulls on the inbound, and Quinlan is taking it down.
Now over to the left wing.
Drives baseline, kicks back out. Really tight man-to-man by Springboro.
Now Baker over to Quinlan, and they're going to call a jump ball.
A jump ball, and that's going to go Springboro's way.
The jump ball for the possession to the Panthers.
And that stiff man-to-man defense really worked in that possession.
Yes.
Drescher over to Julia Stone. Step back, trying to get some spacing, but they aren't making decisions quick enough to get open shots in this 3-2 zone.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, when you watch Fairmont's defense, they're defending them outside the three-point line. So if your offense is starting out here at these white lines, how are you supposed to, find open shots? You have to be able to penetrate and convert a couple of buckets, so then you can get the defense to collapse.
I completely agree with that lacking penetration, but just as we were saying something, Aaron Offenberger hits an open three and really gets Springboro back into this game momentum-wise and scoreboard-wise. But Schwegman sees the open three, passes it up.
And that's a little bit what I was talking about just a minute ago.
Serena Baker with some post
If
moves.
the Panthers get their offense going at all, this would be trouble for the Firebirds. And they're going to call a travel on Bowles. I don't know about that call, but
Yeah, questionable call for sure. Tried to get the ball inside.
So Jess Baker's going to check into the game for Fairmont.
But now you kind of see, Andy, that very pest-like on-ball defense that Springboro is playing is getting to Fairmont a little bit.
Yeah, their offense definitely has slowed down since the first quarter.
Getting some penetration, getting it back outside. Beautiful basketball, just a missed shot by Aaron Offenberger. That's going to go the Springboro Panthers' way.
And I'll tell you what, Jeff, eventually these shots are going to start falling for them, and that's going to be an issue for Fairmont, because they've played, pretty good defense so far, but they've just left a couple too many shots open, and they're just lucky they haven't paid for it yet.
Yeah, and I think it's up to Davidson and that Firebirds staff to really lock in on that inside-out play. They're finally starting to get in the rhythm, getting in the high post and kicking it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to Fairmont to make those adjustments. Questionable shot by Callie Bowles with one hand off 1 foot, fading to the side. And wow, how about her shot-making ability?
Hey, some people just know how to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, those are just straight buckets right there, Andy. There's no fundamental in that.
Hawkins pushed it hard up the floor.
Bowles cross
Now
court.
Bowles.
Schwegman scanning the court, gets it down low to Jess. Back to Baker. Questionable
Turnover.
pass.
Drescher is pushing it up the court.
And calls a carry on Emma Drescher, perhaps kind of panicking on that fast break.
And Springboro, they're just not catching many breaks at all right now, man.
They're going to check the prodigy herself, Serena Baker, the freshman, back in for number 23, Avi Hawkins. Schweger sees the open three. She takes it off the far rim. Good solid board from Emily Woolner. Gets the fast break opportunity, cannot convert. Schwegman with a little board. She is very nifty with the ball. Callie Bowles on the fast break look. Regathers it.
Pass over
Cutting
to Quinlan.
cuts back out, and the travel still haunting the Firebirds.
Man, that's gotta hurt if you're a Firebird. That was a great possession. They found really good spacing. They did it quickly. They found their open shooter, and then all for naught.
And that's the third travel, Andy, to take away an opportunity.
Yeah, they're just a little sloppy right now.
Offenberger, another three, and that misses everything. Frustration on the face of number 24 as she goes back. And another travel, the fourth travel of this first half.
Had issues by both teams.
Dreadful ball handling miscues. It's kind of interesting to see this called so many times in a high school girls game, Andy, because it gets overlooked often.
Often, yeah. I'll definitely say the refs are doing a better job today than what they normally do.
Definitely one of the 3 seconds and a double dribble that they called a foul. Wow, a lot of mistakes there by Springboro that were overlooked for an armbar foul.
It's time to see if the Panthers can, really.
Yeah, they definitely need to capitalize on that break.
On a couple of these, mistakes that they're
not going to get a better break.
Fortunate enough to get.
A misfire on the rotation from Fairmont creates an open opportunity. They can't capitalize, gets the offensive rebound, and they end up with the points anyway.
Emily Wellner ended up putting that one in.
Number 34, she has been hustling tonight, getting a lot of boards. Finally gets her bucket. Serena Baker, beautiful drive. No travel that time.
And I'll tell you what, that was a really nice move. She gathered it.
That's the third time she has looked really legitimate in this game. Wallner kind of hesitating, gets it back out to Forlin anyway. Drescher and Forlin circulating the ball. And trying to throw the balance of this Fairmont defense off, but can't seem to shake them.
And that was Baker with the steal.
Oh, almost traveled again. Schwegman gets it. Ball pressure, tremendous from Springboro, and they call yet another blocking foul.
That one's on Paige Patterson.
Springboro fouls on number 12, Paige Patterson.
Hawkins comes in for Callie Bowles for Fairmont. Julia Stone coming in for Offenberger for Springboro. And number 30, Kaylee Molnar, checking in for Springboro as well.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, can we just take a second to just talk about how good Serena Baker's been? She's got 3 or 4 really nice baskets, and then also she's playing hard on defense. I mean, that last steal was a great showing.
What a beautiful drive to end the half from Kayla Forlin. She has been a very impressive scoring source in this game so far. And I definitely agree with you, Andy. The grace she carries the ball with and the skill that you see already from a JV player has been sensational. But as we close this first half off, Firebirds lead 16-10 at the half. Here we are back in the third quarter. Jeff Allen and Andy Horton with you for MVCC Game of the Week #1 Junior Varsity. And after a fearsome half, a lot of intensity between both teams, we're back out here with the Bakers looking just as good as when we left. Serena Baker, beautiful dime, making an extra pass over to Jess, and a good bucket brings it to 18-10. And a steal from Jess Baker. These Baker girls are good.
I'll tell you what, they definitely are. There's something. And that's not how you want to start out if you're Springboro. Like, turnover, first possession, after you let them get an easy bucket.
There's no way. Another travel for Fairmont. That is the 5th one of the game, first of the second half.
I think that's the 3rd on Serena Baker.
Been a rough night in the ball handling department. Drescher swings it over to Gilday. And this is what Springboro does. They did it a lot in the first half, just waiting to get that seam, that penetration in the high or low post.
Yep, they've had a hard time finding that seam, but when they've got it, they've capitalized.
And a steal
by Quinlan, and then she turns it over, going back the other way.
That was actually Serena Baker. Baker yet with some more good defense.
And Callie Bowles just walks up and
steal. She took it,
rips it out of her hands. Now Quinlan on the drive.
That was not a travel. That was 2 steps. I can't believe that one. That was 2 steps. I saw it with my own eyes. I wish we could get a replay of that.
I agree on that one.
What a call. I just cannot believe
almost a huge lapse there by Springboro,
And we
as
see
they forgot that someone needed to come down so
here
they
you
could
see on
inbound the ball.
replay.
Oh, I don't
was-
know. I think that's 3.
Yeah,
it looks
was
like 3.
probably 3. So that'll move to 6 travels this game.
That's why you're not in the stripes.
Yeah, an abysmal 6 travels. So 18-10 now. Fairmont still leads because of Springboro's inability to put the ball in the basket. And I know the Panthers are hoping that does not carry over.
For sure.
And it looks like it has, as it was an open layup.
Once again, Gilday having an issue finding the rim.
That was right in front of Kaylee Molner's face. Just could not capitalize. Bowles with a hard drive baseline.
And they're going to call a push-off.
And that's an offensive foul.
As she extended the elbow, try and buy some space. The ref said not so fast.
Wild guess, Andy. These Fairmont players are going to have something to say about the refs after this one.
Yeah, I would definitely probably agree. They're not liking how tight they're calling this.
I just have a feeling. Another steal, almost saved. That is saved right there. Up to Kalen Forland, but it does not matter because it'll be a Springboro, what I think is a full timeout. No, that'll be a 30-second actually.
Yeah, and Springboro, I feel like the coach said, look, I'm giving us a couple minutes to either clean this thing up or I got to take another timeout because this is just not working right now.
For sure, and you see this bucket here. Drives forward and barely keeps it in their possession. And after that, he said, yeah, I need a minute. Head coach Wayne Kemper making a good call on the Springboro sideline. There's a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, a lot of toughness, as Finn said about this Fairmont JV girls team, and they are showcasing it all tonight. Hasn't been a very exciting game. There's a lot of grit. It's only 18-10. But we're seeing a full Firebird showcase right here.
Yeah, and you know, if I'm the Firebirds, you got to clean up the travels, and if you clean up the travels, then that probably cleans up the rest of the game.
For
like,
sure.
you know, offense looks way better if you have those possessions back.
And what I meant by the full showcase, Andy, is inexperience and all. We're definitely seeing it all. Emma Drescher trying to get it inside amongst the traffic. Good pass, low post. Gilday cannot get it in.
And it's swatted.
That was Jess Baker on the block.
Now up to Quinlan. She's navigating the court. Gets up into the front court. Is going to go right.
Floater,
up off the glass.
a little hard. Baker with the offensive putback.
And, you know, we've been saying her name a lot, her and her sister. The Bakers have been great in this game.
Some more phenomenal plays from them.
Drescher probing, finds Forlan. Now back up to Drescher at the top of the
And
key.
Springboro is just not creating much offensive spacing. They keep on running into each other while trying to create separation.
Yeah, and you know, if I was coach, I might call, you know, hey, we need to have some more ball movement. Let's get involved in the pick and roll. Let's, you know, try and get some sort of movement. But they just don't have it right now, and they just look, you know, kind of really sloppy.
You know, they're having a little trouble with decision making. And here you go, Gina Gilday getting the Panthers on the scoreboard here in the second half.
You're going to want to see more of that.
Dish down low, Jess Baker. Oh my goodness.
That one bounced off the rim about 5 times.
That would have been a circus shot, that's for sure. And you can't say it was a bad shot. She was pretty close to the rim. Good effort by Baker.
I'd just like to see her a little bit more controlled on that. Out to Forlan, now over to the corner.
And another rush shot.
They're going to call a push on Bowles.
That is another foul on Callie Bowles, who kind of just plays brute, but the refs are not liking it at all.
Yeah, and neither is their coach. Looks like pulling her out. You know, hey, maybe have a quick talk.
For sure, throwing her body weight around a little bit. Inbounds play to Springboro.
Forlan, she's going to drop it.
Another steal by Baker.
Now pass up
makes a
court.
That was a questionable decision on the fast break.
Yeah, she thought she had enough room, but not quite enough, you know, area to fit that one in. And now Fairmont is going to take their own 30-second timeout.
Davidson's calling that one after the rash decision on the fast break.
Yeah, this definitely has not been a very well executed game for either team, but
and sometimes you need games like this, especially for a young unit that's inexperienced.
For sure, Jeff. I was watching an interview with the Wright State head coach Scott Nagy a couple days ago, and he said our offense has been humming this year, but we're going to have a game or two later on down the road where we're not going to win because of our offense, and then the very next game they had that game. So sometimes you got to win with defense. Sometimes it's not going to look pretty.
It's all about the journey. Julia Stone on the inbound for Springboro. Drescher almost trapped. Burrow sees some space on the break.
Now
Forland driving. And that
looks like that one's out on Jess Baker.
Yep, that'll be Springboro ball once again. So good defensive hustle.
Forland to inbound. Over to Drescher. Foul, and one.
Wow, questionable shot, and look at the shock on Emma Drescher's face. She did not plan on that going in.
Yeah, nah, she was just happy she got the foul call. That was an unadvised shot, but an ill-advised shot. But maybe that's the one that gets them going.
For sure. And also sometimes that's the intention with players, to try to draw that contact.
Right.
It's brutal when it doesn't work out, but when it does, it looks nice.
For sure. Now they're going to get the offensive
Drescher cross-court pass. Forland takes it up.
And they're going to call that foul.
Now they're drawing the fouls, and I think maybe that's the point. Maybe he's trying to use that intensity against them.
Yeah, maybe get inside, be aggressive. It looks like they've had a couple shots in this game where maybe they've been flailing a little bit, and if you're flailing in the paint, get some contact.
It's always consequences. Forland misses the first free throw.
But these are must-haves by two programs that we've already talked about. They're great free throw shooting programs. These are must-have free throws.
Yeah, especially if you're a varsity coach looking at this stuff. 1 of 2 for Forland. Now she has 6 points on the day.
Quinlan.
Sharing the ball, and what is called this time? I think that's going to be a foul.
I tell you what, man.
Refs are calling this game very tightly, Andy.
They are. But I'll tell you what. I've been very impressed by Quinlan's. By she hasn't really been that involved on offense. Every time she's gotten the ball, she's been very aggressive. Always looking to attack the basket, opening up other things for her teammates.
As Schwegman scanning but overthrows. That was a bad mistake. Almost gets it back. It's going to be, almost gotten by Fairmont.
Drescher.
And Andy, I don't even know how to call that. Just a chain of bad reactions.
Yeah, Drescher, she was able to get the ball back, saw Patterson open down low, and then it looks like Patterson, she just didn't have the confidence to take the shot, tries to throw it out to Drescher, and, just turnover.
Serena Baker with the drive, losing the ball as she gets inside. Good defense from Springboro,
Drescher.
Running the break. Good pass by Drescher. No rebounds. Good. There are a lot of arms there. What are they going to call it?
They're going to give it to Fairmont.
Fairmont ball. Good hustle by all parties involved.
Number 30,
Callie Bowles will be put right back in. Trying to look for a recipient of the ball. Makes a bad decision there, but still comes away with the ball. On the fast break, beautiful ball movement.
Baker to Baker.
Fairmont utilizing that decision-making once again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, well, watching Fairmont, even though Coach Finn said that they're not the most athletic team, when they get out in transition, they make a lot of very good decisions.
Yeah, for sure. Bowles sees the open man, but she cannot
Hawkins
lay it
is not
in.
able to put it in.
Just rimmed out for Hawkins, and now Fairmont dropping back into their 3-2. Has been giving Springboro problems all night, barely gets the shot off, somehow draws the contact, Andy. I feel like that was more off of the way her body contorted. I don't think that was a lot of contact there.
Firework foul on number 10, Serena Baker.
But as we know from watching James Harden from so many of these years, you can manipulate the defense.
Hey, man, if it looks like a foul, it's a foul. If you can somehow convince one of those guys in stripes, you'll get the call.
Yeah, I feel like she was loose on her feet, falling kind of almost off balance. But
And I think a lot of times, you know, some clumsiness in basketball will definitely help you draw
for
the
sure,
foul.
it'll draw the foul.
Offensive rebound by Drescher. They might not be making these free throws, but at least they're, you know, giving themselves extra opportunities.
Yeah, I don't even want to see these offensive rebound numbers, Andy. They are so outnumbered, Fairmont is.
Sloan over to the wing. Offen.
Oh, Offenberger almost hits the shot. And it'll be Fairmont ball after the scramble. We've seen a lot of those tonight. Very entertaining when it comes to that aspect of the game. These girls definitely want to win.
Yeah, that's really one of the points where you see who wants it more. You know, who's getting on the ground, who's, you know, getting
Seems like everybody's
getting dirty.
been on the ground. They have been flailing, both teams. It's been a lot of pressure, and I'm impressed. And a really rash decision.
Hawkins and Quinlan were not on the same page. Actually, yeah, that was Quinlan. They were not on the same page on that one.
Rash decision causes her to be sit, and you know, maybe it was time for Schwegman to come back in anyways. And just like all night, Springboro breaks the 3-2 at the inbound play, but cannot capitalize on two open looks.
And you know, the shot
Baker
there by
to Schwegman. She resets. 3 for Jess Baker. That is all air.
And,
Good box out by Offenberg.
I really think the last possession for Springboro just kind of sums up what we've seen all game. They've gotten, you know, some pretty good looks. They've just had no like luck.
Those opportunities are not being validated.
Yeah, they've had no luck when trying to capitalize on these
Offenberger, we've seen her make a 3 earlier, but missed 3 after that. Mishandles a ball. Mishandles it again, and there's no way that was called right. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that call from the ref. It definitely looked like she touched it last.
Yeah, that was deflected from Bowles off of Offenberger. She touched it 2 times after Bowles touched it. So missed call, bad missed call from the refs, but that brings it to 22-17. Fairmont is up by 5 and takes a shot a little bit early. Now Offenberger gets to take the last one, but just off. And Springboro puts themselves back in the game with the help from the refs.
For sure. But I'll tell you what, that was definitely their best offensive quarter so far.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I still definitely got to say you got to capitalize on those trips to the line. I think they went to the line 3 different times, had maybe 5-6 free throw attempts in that quarter, and I'm not sure if they made any of them. And so when you look at the score, 5 free throw attempts, that's the game right now. Like those misses.
Yeah, a bunch of just uncapitalized opportunities for Springboro. They could be in this game at any moment, and it seems like a matter of choice almost. You know, do you really want this game? You got to hit those layups. You got to hit the open mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, and a lot of times it just comes down to concentration, you know, like and composure. And those are 2 of the most important things, you know, that you have to have on the stage. And if you don't have it, then I mean you're just gonna have issues, you know.
Yeah, I gotta say,
you gotta be calm under pressure.
This is the most travels and the most hand checks I've ever seen called in a high school game for the girls.
Yeah, that's
for a girls' high school game by far.
They normally don't call it this tight, but they are, and coaches on both staffs are going to be talking to their players after this game.
That out of bounds call last time, that was pretty dreadful. That was pretty questionable. I'm not gonna lie. Even as an announcer, you're supposed to kind of keep your mouth held about that one, but there's some calls that you just know are not right.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Springboro has the ball to start off this 4th quarter, and some more opportunities where they just did not capitalize, and they're going to call a foul on Offenberger. I'm not going to lie, Andy, when everybody stopped there, I thought it was going to be another foul on Fairmont.
Now Quinlan
moving the ball.
Driving hard to the basket.
In a beautiful bucket.
And just like I was talking about last time she touched the ball, she's been so aggressive every time she's touched the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing how Springboro didn't really try to cut off any of her options there.
Yeah.
Another 3 from Forland, and it is just off.
That one's going to be pulled down by Jess Baker. Over to sister Serena Baker, who's going to drive. They're going to call it on the floor.
And I think that's going to be a foul on Julia Stone. Oh, they'll actually call it on Drescher. 24-17, the Firebirds have the ball inbound, stolen by Drescher.
By Offenberger.
She's moving down the court, takes the fast break layup, doesn't hit it, but Julia Stone with the offensive putback. The hustle and perseverance of these Firebirds are showing out, and Callie with a clear push off. That was atrocious.
Yeah, she's done that a couple times in this game, and she's gotten lucky that she's only been called for it once.
Really throwing that weight around. She plays aggressively, which ends up boding well in some opportunities, but
sometimes it'll cost you.
Yeah, right there. That was just brutally apparent. At least you want to kind of make it seem like it's not there. That was so there.
Right.
Borderline stiff arm, but Quinlan, her aggressiveness earning her more free throws.
Surprisingly, that layup was her first basket of the night.
Yeah, no bias shown here, but O'Malley Quinlan, what a name. What a name.
Definitely unique.
Yeah, and as a freshman on this team, I think the Firebirds program makes it clear that she is going to be one of the building blocks for the future.
I definitely think so. And, Jeff, when I watch her, I see a little bit of my boy from Xavier. I can't think of his name. JP Makura, She plays really hard, very aggressive, attacks the rim. That was a beautiful save by Offenberger.
Wow. Some hustle there. Forland looking for the shot. She found it. Did not convert on it, though.
And Jess Baker's going to get the rebound.
Springboro foul is going to be on number 4, Julia Stone.
Bowles now on the inbound.
Schwegman gets it down to O'Malley Quinlan, and she tries to save it. Cannot get her feet inside. That was actually Serena Baker, excuse me.
Just led him a little bit too far there on the play.
Fantastic hustle. Emma Drescher tries to get it inside to Gina Gaudet, but excellent defense by Serena Baker.
They called a push on that, and I don't really know if that should have been a call. I just thought there's a little bit of contact, but enough for them to call it.
And now they put one of the tallest and biggest girls on this team in to get some size. Diamond Noble. We haven't seen her tonight yet. Not much of a court runner, but she is a brute player.
Yeah, and her size should definitely help in that offensive rebounding, or help stop Springboro get so many offensive boards.
For sure. I got the pleasure of seeing her a couple different times at the JV freshman level in the past couple years. Just a very tough player.
Gonna get that one into
Baker
Jess
almost
Baker.
Gets it. Good steal by Springboro. Capitalizing on the press. Stone with the up and under and draws the foul from Diamond Noble. Oh my goodness, they called it a travel.
Oh wow, that one blows my mind.
Yeah, I think it was a good call. Just as every single travel tonight so far, it has been warranted. Good outlet pass. Schwegman saw the open man, could not get it to her. Jess takes it down to Diamond Noble, and she gets the buckets.
That was a really nice touch with that layup.
Looking like a grown woman down there.
Very smoothly laid it up.
Emma Drescher out to Forland. Quick open three. Does not capitalize after a Kawhi-like bounce.
Now Offenberger
tries to kick it out. It's going to be a foul.
So now the Panthers are in the bonus, and this is where they can really make headway into this deficit. just find a way to force contact on every play. See if you can find your way to the line, and you can melt this lead away.
It gives you opportunities to get back in this game very quickly. And also, you can take advantage, like they have been so far. The reason they got this bonus, taking advantage of Fairmont's defensive contact.
Yeah, and I really think when you're watching this game, you can tell Fairmont's played like significantly better. But when you look at the scoreboard, it's because of the lack of consistency on offense on both ends that this is still a tight game.
For sure. And just Springboro's way to offensively around the ball has limited their possessions, has limited Fairmont's possessions by so much. They were able to continuously grab those defensive rebounds. I cannot begin to imagine how many points they would have right now.
Yeah.
Kind of stresses me out.
Yeah, it's not something that you like to see if you're a Firebird like yourself, but it's still pretty early in the season. There's still a lot of time to
28 to 23 now.
There's still a lot of time in this season, so that's something you got plenty of time to clean up, but it's something that you have to take care of urgently.
So coming out of the timeout, Fairmont Firebirds will have possession, and Springboro Panthers will continue this press defense. And the fifth person was not out there. Wow.
Off to Schwegen.
And Springboro saves the day. They did not have 5 girls on the court.
But they get the stop anyways. Forlin attacks the rim. Nice. That was very strong.
Where have you been with the fake pass and open layup? And now taking advantage of the contact by Offenberger, but look at that. Fake dish inside, goes outside of a Serena Baker with her hands up wide.
Very smooth, and that fake pass is what sold the defense, They didn't commit, and now Forlin is going to force another turnover, puts it up off the glass, gets that one, and all of a sudden, Kayla Forlin, she's got 10 points, and this is a 1-point game.
And this pressure is what is changing the game, Andy.
Yep, Callie Bowles has to be careful because we've talked about she's pushed off quite a few times in this game.
I'm really shocked that the refs are loosely calling this game now. I really think the Springboro
they're letting it go, and they're going to call a travel.
You got to be kidding me. I think the refs are really ignoring some of the contact right now, Andy.
When you look inside, I don't think there's a lot of contact, but I definitely don't see a travel. That's not on the screen.
Yeah, and that last steal, I think, was a push from the defense. I'm just not seeing the same things as the refs so far. That was a double dribble by Gina
Gilday. And they're going to call it double dribble.
So the Panthers will stab themselves in the back after a free possession.
But like we've been talking about all game, it's now a 1-point game because of Fairmont's inability to consistently perform well on offense.
And also, I don't think they've ever seen this kind of ball pressure. I think this is a great strategy by Coach Kemper here.
Yeah.
And it's getting them back in the game.
Yeah.
Making these girls make quick decisions that they're not used to making. And they just kind of look lost. And good take by Jess Baker drawing the foul.
So impressed when you watch this Fairmont team, this JV team, because when you look, on this floor, they got 4 or 5 really good high school basketball players, and that's going to be so good for the program in future years. And I was not expecting for them to play this well.
For sure, and a lot of promising freshmen on the team as well. Jess Baker, 0 of 2.
But her sister is going to get the rebound up off the glass, no good. Now Forlin attacking back the other way. Off the glass and in.
Oh my goodness!
And Kayla Forlin has 6 or 8 points in the last 3 minutes and has completely changed the complexion of this game. And they're going to say it's off Bowles, going the other way.
And an extremely close call. Another questionable one.
Patterson is going to inbound to Drescher. So all of a sudden, this game has changed.
Definitely. This ball pressure has helped them out a lot, but I think it's mostly been dictated by the refs.
Now Stone looking for what to do. He's going to find Forlin. Now back to Stone. They look pretty comfortable just chewing some clock right now. Forlin over to Drescher. Now back to Stone, and they're going to call a timeout. They're going to call
Kemper
a full
for Springboro
timeout.
taking a full one now. And that'll give the Panthers and the Firebirds time to discuss. What are you predicting for the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds of this game, Andy?
I'll tell you what, man. I think the Panthers probably have the heads up, or probably have the advantage, like going forward. They definitely have the momentum in this quarter, and you know, now that Forlin has gotten something going, it looks like their offense really has some direction, and that's been something they've been lacking all game. And just talking about how Fairmont's defense has not been good enough, and how their offense has not been good enough in this game. It looks like that's probably going to continue because the high ball pressure is just not allowing them to get into their offense like they were earlier. Earlier I was talking about how how Springboro was starting their offense all the way out here at the white lines. Now it's the other way around. So I definitely think that the Springboro coach has done a much better job here in the second half, like getting his players to buy in. Be like, look, guys, this is a 5-point game. We just got to, get a couple stops, get things going. So
yeah, I'm definitely expecting. Davidson told them something about the press while in there, and what I want to see from Fairmont is coming out in that stack formation that works on the inbound plays for the full court press. I think that could really utilize that.
Yeah, they got a couple different looks that they bring out to you. They'll stack it, have 4 guys in a line. They got a box formation they do. Now Dresser, it looks like she's going to attack.
And look at this man-to-man for Fairmont now. They have switched their defense completely.
And now temporarily doubled Forlin.
Yeah, they went for the trap, which is a very good strategy. That's how Albright used to play.
And so now, almost all of a sudden, once again, they're starting their offense way out behind the three-point line. That's not conducive to successful offense.
And the rotations from this Fairmont man-to-man defense is really giving Springboro trouble right now. And a moving screen for Springboro. Huge play. Paige Patterson making a mistake, and that gives the possession back to the Firebirds.
All the work they just put in the last five minutes or so in this quarter might have just been taken away.
Great pass.
Serena Baker, no hesitation.
That's a jump ball, and that's going to be Fairmont's ball, thanks to the hustle by Serena Baker.
The hustle and brains of this Fairmont basketball team right now is next level because the awareness to know that, hey, if we tie this up, it's our ball again, is great.
3 from Fairmont. That is Macy Schwegman, and the Firebirds are leading this game again.
We've been talking about it all game, how neither of these teams have been able to knock down their three-pointers, and finally getting one down.
Good steal, Jess Baker. Wow, these Fairmont girls are coming up so clutch. Davidson calling a full timeout for the Firebirds. And resurging this entire team, Macy Schwegman from the corner, changing the story of this game. Real quick.
For sure, Jeff.
And you saw, Andy, the way they played in that man-to-man defense really changed the course of this game. Momentum keeps swinging back and forth. This is a fantastic junior varsity game to start the year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I'll tell you what, I think it's been like a very good, very well coached game because the coach for Fairmont, he switched it up multiple times. We're playing man, we're playing, now we're playing zone, and he's really made it very hard for the Panthers to get comfortable here in this game. Hands off. You gotta, give it up to the coach. He's been great.
I don't know what Coach Kemper is saying over there in that Springboro huddle, but it has worked here for the last 3 minutes. We'll see how it goes. This has been a really exciting game. That 3 changed the entire course of the game. It's so unpredictable at this point. I was really expecting Springboro to run away with their strategy change. But now, the way, and you saw the way he came out in that full court inbound in the stack like I was expecting him to. And that has really changed the way they play this game. And here we go, Fairmont.
We'll have Bowles on the inbound, and maybe one of those stack sets we were talking about earlier. Almost turned it over, but Baker's going to hang on to it. Now Quinlan brings it up into the front court. Back over to Bowles. Now Quinlan.
That's going to be a foul on Drescher. Getting a little aggressive on the defensive end.
And I don't know about the foul call, but it definitely was aggressive defense.
She was snapping at her. Another hand check called. If that's going to put Fairmont in the bonus, that changes this game.
Yeah, and you know, we've talked about it 4 or 5 times throughout this game, how both of these programs shoot free throws at a high level. And of course, like you said earlier, the announcer's jinx makes a miss. But Offenberger going to bring it up.
Burrows circulating the ball, and the 3 rims out. And that's an offensive foul.
They're going to call an offensive foul on Jess Baker after 2 elbows. She got away with the first one, not lucky enough to get away with it the second time.
Trying to create separation, but your X's have to look natural, Andy.
Yeah, you can't just swing those elbows so recklessly.
For sure. There's definitely a skill to that.
Fairmont is kind of lucky we're not shooting technical free throws.
The weight of this game hanging on Julia Stone's shoulders as she shoots the free throw, and it's off. Solid rebound.
And Baker's gonna.
Serena Baker running the court now, looking for the open girl.
They're trapping.
Gets it back to Bowles. Bowles slowing it down. Very good decision making by this Fairmont girls team down the stretch.
And it's starting to look like down the stretch they're just going to try and give it to Serena Baker and let her close this thing out.
Making really good decisions. They know they're up, and I think they really want to run this clock out. Don't want to take any chances. Forcing Drescher into another foul. That's 3 on her now, and that puts Serena Baker, one of the most skilled girls on this team, at the free throw line.
Yeah.
There's Firebirds JV head coach Brandon Davidson, who has coached a very fine game today. 48 seconds to go. Him and his girls lead by 2. With Baker on the free throw line, first is off. So not a 1-and-1 anymore since that last foul from Drescher. She'll get another one directly, and this one could change the rest of the game.
Trying to make it a 3-point lead. And she converts.
32-29.
48 and a half seconds left. Drescher is going to bring it up the floor.
Trying to get it to Forland, but there you go. Another foul on Bowles.
And she's got to be running out of them.
And that's 4. That's 4 on Bowles. 1 more. She is out of the game.
She has to be very careful in these closing moments.
One of the most forceful and impactful players on this team.
Yeah, and I understand being aggressive, trying to get the steal. If you get the steal and then, get the foul, you make your free throws, the game is probably over. But I think you probably got to be a little more conservative. You don't just want to give them opportunities, even though they're not converting at this point.
What a storyline it has been for Kayla Forland. She started the year out on varsity. Almost won the game for the Panthers tonight. And here we go. Fast break. Critical down the stretch. And Bowles takes the foul on the arm from Julia Stone.
She was looking for Schwegner in the corner, but was not quite able to get the pass off. Schwegman.
So after the Firebirds go up by 3, they go down, put Forland on the free throw line, which is a risky thing to do. She has 12 points. She has brought this team back single-handedly. Count on her missing 2 free throws somehow, and then bring it down and draw the foul with Bowles. And it has just been an exceptional high school junior varsity girls game tonight, Andy.
For sure,
no matter which way this one goes, and which it's kind of creeping in the favor of the Firebirds, it has just been a sensationally played game from both sides of the ball.
Yeah, there's been tons and tons of effort and hustle produced in this game. It's been a fun one to watch, be a part of, but
it's been an honor to call this game tonight, honestly. These girls have played their heart out, and that's all you can ask. Beyond inexperience, beyond not being developed, that's all you can ask for is for these 10 girls on the court at a time playing their absolute heart out, and we got it tonight. What a pleasure to watch these girls work in week 1 of junior varsity, MVCC game of the week. Got 35 seconds left as Bowles is at the free throw line.
And
First
that
one rims out.
Touched every part of the rim. Does not Just not wanting to let this game fade, wanting to keep it alive.
Callie Bowles, yet another building block for this team.
She's going to miss her second. With Jess Baker
with the rebound. I thought she drawed the foul, but will still keep the ball in Firebird possession.
Now Bowles. Oh, looks like they'll give it to Schwegman to inbound. Gets it in to Quinman, who turns it over.
Gilday, she converts the layup.
And immediately Springboro takes a timeout. And just when you think the game might be ending, there's another big play to change the course of the game.
You see it here, O'Malley chasing with everything she has, chasing Gilday down the court.
Late here,
another fast break.
Late here in this game, Fairmont has not protected the ball nearly well enough. You know, like this game should have been over 4 minutes ago, but they just allowed the door to stay open just enough. And you know, Springboro, they're doing what they can to try and capitalize on this game late. It really sucks if you're a Panther, because you know, if you just could have shot somewhat efficiently in the first half, this is a completely different game. And I also think it's kind of funny that we were talking about how good both of these teams were at shooting free throws, and then we have not really seen that in this game. You know? Both teams have struggled. So,
you know, JV and varsity is completely different, though. So
for sure,
this is the future, and it has been an honor to watch once again. But here we go. This is for all the marbles. Springboro's coming out in this press that has worked really well for them. This could easily go their way here. Here we go. Bowles on the inbound. You got to be very careful with this possession, Andy. And she was not. Callie Bowles
turns it over, but then Drescher turns it right back over. That was great hustle on defense and awareness in order to get the initial steal. But just on the offensive end, it's been a theme tonight, just not capitalizing in the most important moments of the game.
Yeah, I think these Springboro girls show a lot of promise, Andy. But one thing they have to improve on is not pushing the panic button. Yeah. We all have it. We all tend to go to it a lot. You got to ease off of it.
You just got to find a way to stay calm and make, you know, good decisions. And they did not do that very well in this game.
Yeah, at all. And it's kind of funny. I watch a lot of MMA, so I compare it to the calm, cool, collected, you know, striker, and then the brawler comes back at the last second because they make it a messy battle. And that's what happened here with Springboro. They made it a brawl. Yeah. They made it very messy and scrappy. And they started to come back, but at the end of the day, that skill prevailed.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't look like all the extra offensive rebounds
with the three, and that's all air. Saved by Springboro. And they'll say it's Springboro ball. 2 seconds to go. This still could be Springboro's game right here, Andy.
I would not have been surprised if they would have called a foul on that.
Yeah, and I was expecting the timeout here from Coach Davidson, and you'll get it. Coach Davidson of the Firebirds calls a timeout here in a clutch situation. You got 2.6 seconds on the clock. And we have called so many barn burners here at Springboro. I'm honored to call another one in the JV side.
You know, you don't want to give up anything in this situation because a 2 sends it to overtime. But if I'm the coach, I'm preaching no threes, no fouls. You know, let's just let it end at the next whistle. You know, when the horn blows, let's let this thing end. I don't want to, you know, to send them to the line with an opportunity to tie it up, and you just have to make sure you play strong, very good fundamental defense. And maybe we see him switch back into the zone at this point, because they've done that at very timely situations tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can cover more of the floor. But what a battle it has been. This is not an offensive coach's game, not a defensive coach's game. This is a basketball fan's game. 2.6 seconds remaining. Panthers with the possession. Firebird come out in what seems like man-to-man. Panthers kind of confused. What was that? A very confusing last possession for the Springboro Panthers, and the Firebirds come home with it. Andy, what did you take away from those final seconds?
You know, it was just a lot more of the same. Springboro was sloppy, and you know, with the last play of the game, Kaylee Molner's shot gets blocked, and you just wish that there was better execution.
Yeah, a lot more discipline required in those moments. But I'm Jeff Allen. This is Andy Horton. It has been a pleasure to be here with you tonight, and we got another one coming up right after this one. Please stay tuned. You will not regret it.